tiger on the prowl. I'ma make it go wild. I'm original, and I told you so. I'm a kid in the candy store with the leather on the denim. I ain't the cure, I'm the venom. If you wanna find me, find the taillight. Something's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. I don't wait for nobody. I'm a summer name on the dotty. City lights call my name, drawn to the flame, and I'm feeling kinda naughty. I hit the ground running, step out the door and I'm stunning. Better hold tight cause you know what's going down. I'm setting the pace cause this is my town. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink.
Welcome. It is What Up Wednesday. Keely Dunn, FHumpires. I am very happy you are here. I'm a little off kilter with the old mic here. So set, ready to go. It's going to be a really fun show. We are going to talk about dragging on penalty strokes because I was flooded with like 2 questions on this one. No, it was a veritable flood. It really was. All 2 people. We're going to go through a scenario that happened at the FIH Pro League on the weekend. We are going to talk about deflections into a circle and where do you call danger? Where is the danger? Where is the foul itself, which dictates what team penalty you might award. I've got a couple of quick ones to go through. She says quick with that look on her face like, yeah, right, it's going to be quick. Look, I'm going to try. There's a lot of stuff to get through today, and I'm energized. I'm ready to go. So let's get in there. First off, I'm going to say hello to people. Let me know how the sound balance is. I'm feeling it's a little loud. I'm feeling it. So tell me if that's what's coming through to y'all as well. But before we say hi to all you fantastic people, I just want to give a quick shout out of congratulations to Steve Denman. And okay, you might be saying, level 1, you know, who really, you know what? This is a big deal for me. This is a really big deal for me. Let me tell you why. Steve is part of our community in the Discord server, which incidentally you can find here. Okay, so this is our Discord server. Steve has been part of our live streams. He's a big force in our Discord server. And up until this moment, right here, he's like, yeah, I'm a goalkeeper and I just want to know the rules better. But friends, no longer. It's happened. He has poacher turned gamekeeper. He is now a poacher turned gamekeeper. I can't say gamekeeper. I can't. It's just impossible. And I'm just really proud of him. I'm really proud of him because a lot of people would choose not to step up to that kind of challenge, and Steve's all over it. So thank you, friend, for coming out. Thank you for everything that you contribute in our community. It's a lot of fun having you around, and thank you for stepping up and grabbing that whistle firmly in your fist. and you will be out there conquering. See, I'm really jacked up. I can't help it. I think it's because it's a little bit later today. I decided that the most important thing to provide the continuity in this topsy-turvy world that y'all need was to make sure that when we jumped forward to daylight savings time this past weekend, that we would stick with UK and Europe time. Yeah. So it's 1 p.m. for me. The sun is different. I feel, I don't know. I was sitting here at noon going, what is happening? This is wrong. Anyway, this is what I do for you guys. Put this much thought into things. Speaking of you guys, y'all is what I'm trying to say. Let's say hi to everybody. Ian, what? Okay, it's not that he's umpiring in the rain, because that's obvious. It's England. It's just that he's the first comment. And this is Rachel's slot. What's happening? I'm just gonna, what is happening? It'll be okay. Okay, but Rachel came in second. Okay, it's fine. Right. There you go. Your meal, Merlot. There you go. Hopefully before you all start. Okay. Well, I was pretty prompt today. It's pretty prompt. There you go. Niels, I'm glad you have made it because I saw your later comment that you were in transit and now you're home. Good. I like these updates. I like to know. Replay squad, my left arm 4D. Just throwing in the challenges for me. That's okay. I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna do this. Scott Riley, hi. Yes, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Rich, great to have you along as always. Stain, nice to have you. The first rule of What Up Wednesday, Mr. Godders, is we do not speak of the sport ball. But the good news is it's so boring that you can have the sport ball on somewhere else, but then you will be riveted. All of your attention will be here and you won't even remember that there was sport ball. What is sport ball? You'll say. And then somebody will notice that there's a screen with non-moving objects and all white outfits. I don't know. Is that what they wear? Who knows? That's my rant. Kia ora, Stefan. I'm glad you're here. Chris is here, of course. Oh, very, very wet. Okay, so something weathery is happening in England is what I'm surmising. Soy on block 4. Mr. Mike Mack. Always great to have you. And Yurian's here. Excellent. Safely home, yes. You've had the red sand from the Sahara in your rain today. I watched a documentary about this, about red sand and Sahara stuff. It was on that big object. Hang on. It's coming to me. It was an Apple TV documentary. Was it Apple TV or was it Netflix? Dang it. If anybody can remember what I watched, please let me know. No, it was fascinating. It was about weather systems and how truly global our entire atmosphere is, and how a windstorm in one area can just take particles clear across the world and such. It'll come to me at 3 a.m. at some point. There you go. Yes, very well done. Professor Gideon! No! Oh, I've got the buttons in the wrong order. Freaked me out. I'm glad you're here, Professor. Thomas is here, yes. We're very excited. The Kiwis are in the house, represented by, of course, Stefan and Andrew. There you go. You're nearly there. We've been talking about you. You're nearly there. Maybe you're nearly there in assessments. But anyway, you get it. Yop, that is fantastic. Yop, I really appreciate the questions and the conversations we've been having in the server. Yop is really giving me he's giving me all of the challenge, the intellectual challenge I can possibly handle, and I'm really enjoying it. So thank you very much for those exchanges. It's been fantastic. Yeah, okay. Dang. Slap down. That is harsh. Yeah, it's not gonna be fast. Oh, sushi? No, you're exempt. It's cool. Oh man. Now I want sushi. Ooh. Ooh, sushi. Okay. Hi, Matt. It's all good. It's so great because you know that I take a few minutes just to let everybody settle in and get their drinks and, you know, get comfortable. And here you are apologizing because you were probably getting yourself a drink and you don't have to. Matt, I'm just glad you're here. Yes, Bav is here. Let's go, he says. Bav is the reason for the first question. Well, one of the reasons. So thank you very much. I might pull up our tweet on screen. I don't know. We'll see. Yes, more weather exchanges. Brilliant day, Goddard says on Tuesday. Hampshire Schools Tournament matches umpired by 13 young umpires who are just great. Why don't I know them and why aren't they in my Discord? Because it's built for people of that age, right? That is so fantastic. Wait, let me pull this back up. Yeah, Jason, Mike, and John from South Central Umpires helping. That is... It warms the cockles of my non-existent heart. That's a nice big comment too. Absolutely. Was I just watching the Weather Channel again? Every time I start a live stream, I watch the Weather Channel. Thank you very much. Y'all tell me everything. Nick's here. You just got back from your Bucks match. Yeah, you were pretty stoked on that. He's been talking about that in server. So thank you very much, Nick. I appreciate that because that's the thing that we like. Right here, ding, 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 okay? If you hit that bell, you'll get all the notifications. And YouTube doesn't like to send you notifications unless you've clicked the, like, give me everything bell. So make sure you click the everything bell. Moochus, thank you. You're all over the place, Bav. I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. Okay, let's get going because, yes, I have a lot. Oh, look, it's only 13 minutes after. We're gonna do this. So ready for it. Okay, so this was the inspiration. Oh wait, I was gonna impromptu pull up Bav's tweet. That's okay. So Bav tweeted at me on the following situation, and he asked, every flick these days drags a bit because of the strength of the players. So why was this one on video referral called as a drag? Let's have a look. Okay. For some reason, this is muted. Here.
The goalkeeper is saying that was not a legal push or flick.
Please go ahead, Javed.
The German goalkeeper said it was a drag push for the penalty stroke. Please check.
Looking for a drag push.
Ooh, yeah. This is getting very tough. Well, that could be a very good call indeed by the goalkeeper. That's all on the first viewing. You can almost see the double touch. But this is a massive call on the video umpire here. There it is.
Is there any side angle? Or you can show me the second clip again,
wheeling
please?
away in celebration. It might be a little bit premature. And this will be the 200th appearance for India today. She won't want it to end in tears here.
Javed?
Yes.
I have a decision for you. It's a drag and it will be a 16-meter free hit.
So it's a drag push?
Yes.
Oops. Why is confetti going again? Oh my goodness. Honestly, friends, these are the things. It's not even an overlay. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, silenced. Hi. So anyway, that was the inspiration. So that was India versus Germany. Yes. At the Pro League. And I need to talk about this. Now, I want to start this off because I know it's very late in India. So if a Raghu has not made it to the live stream, I totally understand. I think it's either 1:30 in the morning or maybe it's 2:30 in the morning. I don't know. Anyway, He knows I'm going to talk about this. Raghu and I are very old friends. I'm the very old one. He is young and spry. I am the old one, but we have been friends for a long time. So this is not, again, how many times do I say it is not a criticism, but I really feel this is important for us to work through. Just like I felt it was really important back, I can't remember the date now. What Up Wednesday 4? Episode 4, the 4th time I went live with a What Up Wednesday. So that is a long time ago now because we're at 67. I know you guys are counting. You're not counting, I'm counting. And I went through what I thought was a really solid dissertation on this subject. Like I was really proud of it. I'm going to do it again because apparently the arguments that I made didn't get circulated enough. Maybe y'all weren't around during What Up Wednesday 4. There is a link in the description if you want to go back and hear me say the very same phrases again that I am about to say, because I watched it because I like to go back and revisit, okay, what's changed about my thinking? What's different these days? Have I learned anything? Have the winds changed? And you know what? No, I still think I got this button down. If you listen to the following explanation and have something else you would like to present to me, another argument, I want to hear it, because I didn't get anything after What Up Wednesday episode 4 that changed my mind. So let's start with this. Oh, that's not the thing that I want. That's the thing I want. This is the rule. This is the rule that we're looking at. Okay? And you know what I'm like about language. Taking a penalty stroke, the player taking the stroke must push, flick, or scoop the ball and is permitted to raise it to any height. Of course, only some heights will go in the goal. We know. Using a dragging action to play the ball at a penalty stroke is not permitted. So, a push, a flick, or a scoop is permitted. A hit obviously is not. And a dragging motion on any of those things is not allowed. And also, the player taking the stroke can only play the ball once. And I think that may lead us into a little bit of confusion in some ways, but here we go. The problem with this rule is that there's no definition in the rule book of what constitutes a drag. So this is from the 2019 rules, but just because it has push, flick, and scoop, like right there, the very same verbiage, exact same wording is still used now under the definitions. I just didn't want to cut and paste and like flip them. Anyway, but a push is moving the ball along the ground using a pushing movement of the stick after the stick has been placed in contact or close to the ball. When a push is made, both the ball and the head of the stick are in contact with the ground. A flick pushing the ball so it is raised off the ground. So it's a push that simply raises the ball off the ground, and a scoop raising the ball off the ground by placing the head of the stick under the ball and using a lifting movement. Okay, but no definition of what a drag may or may not be. With this in mind, friends, let's think about the spirit of the rule. Let's think about the context first, before we get into all the details. The very nature of a penalty stroke is that you've made a call to reset what was a big imbalance caused by a foul by the defending team. Either it was an intentional foul that inside the circle against a player with possession or likely possession of the ball, or it was an unintentional foul that stopped a probable goal. Those are big events. These are big injustices that you are resetting. So when giving the penalty stroke, you're giving the opportunity for the team that was fouled to set things right, to have the same chance at putting the ball in the net that was taken away from them. To take away a penalty stroke scored goal is a big decision. Okay, we don't reach for reasons, we don't guess, We don't imagine. We don't venture. We don't hunt. We are sure, we are positive. When we look at the history of the rules, this is going to help us understand what we're looking for with a drag. So I'm going to take you back in time. Taking it back to the past. This is 2002, and this is what the rules read. The ball can be pushed, flicked, or scooped from the penalty spot. In the process of taking the stroke, sub J, the player may take one step forward, but the rear foot may not pass the front one until the ball has been played. There was no mention in 2002 of the word drag. In 2004, we shifted to this. There it is. Wait, no, I can't see this because this is too small. The player taking the stroke must stand behind within playing distance of the ball. The player taking the stroke must push, flick, or scoop the ball, permitted to any height, and using the dragging action is not permitted. So the language that dictated or constricted what steps the players could take, which unbelievably in 2022, there are people out there that still don't know that you can take as many steps as you want to before you play the ball. Okay? They removed that and inserted the language about dragging. To me, those two things are connected. One hints at the other because they weren't trying to they weren't trying to change the nature of what was happening, simply remove complicated, unnecessarily technical, you can only take one step, you can only take this step, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they were trying to simplify the rule and failed, in my view, unfortunately. And we got to this. Okay, but to me, this is what a drag actually is the back foot under the 2002 rules landing in front of the ball before the ball has been played. Let me explain why. Here's a dictionary definition of drag. I know, I'm literally doing a legal interpretation argument with y'all. I'm going through everything. I'm going through history. So looking for legislative intent. I am looking through the dictionary. I'm gonna argue everything here. But here with a drag, it's pulling along forcefully, roughly or with difficulty, blah, blah, blah. Pulling. The action of pulling something forcefully, the drag of the current, but the word pull comes in there again. You can look up any definition and the sensation of pulling is there. If you look for synonyms and antonyms for drag, what is an antonym for the drag? It's a push. What is a synonym for a push? A pull. What has to happen for a pull to occur? The object that is being pulled is behind the body. Not in front, behind the body. Okay? So this comes into focus when we look at what we understand in common parlance to be a drag flick. Okay, there's no definition of a drag flick anywhere in the rule book, but this is a phrase that everybody in the world knows. And this is Blake Govers, back a little while ago, doing, he's got less tattoos I can see, doing a drag flick. What do you notice about what our friend is doing here in this video? Okay. As the ball is being picked up. Wait, okay, I'm not using the green screen today. His back foot, his right foot is in front of the ball before he releases it. Okay, and you might ask, Keely, okay, you're putting together all these little pieces, but what does it matter? How does that impact the spirit of the rule? Like, what is the rule really trying to address? And it's this. You have a ball that's being picked up at the 15-meter line. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this on the fly because I can. iPad? Question mark? Nope, not that. Okay. Hold on. Don't watch. Okay, no. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. On the fly. I'm gonna... Preview mode. There we go. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Hang on. I hope you enjoyed the music while you're waiting for me. So, friends, where are we? We're right about here. This is 15 meters. As this ball gets picked up and slung, whereabouts can Mr. Govers release this ball? That is about the point of release, okay? That is a big difference, my friends. Now, if you could drag on a penalty stroke, you're going from the 7-meter mark, you probably could be releasing it 5 meters away. What an incredible disadvantage. This is what no dragging on penalty strokes is intended to prevent. The shortened distance between the stroke taker and the goal line and the goalkeeper. So when we look at this penalty stroke, to me, I think it's pretty clear at the point of release that this player has not stepped with her back foot in front of the line of the ball before it's been released. Does anybody have any problem with that? Like, am I on drugs here? Am I seeing this wrong? The fact that she can pick up the ball on her stick and she can push it. I don't know what's going on here. And she can push it along the ground, and while the stick is still in contact with the ball, she can change the direction slightly, and that fools the goalkeeper. That's not a problem. It's not a problem, folks. That's not what we're bothered with. Oh, you know what happened? I was doing all this and you didn't see it because I hadn't published. Or maybe I had published. Okay, let's go back to the replay. I think that's the point at which I pressed the wrong buttons. And as we look at the replay, I'm going to totally edit this out. No, I'm not. I don't see any indication of the back foot stepping in front of the ball, shortening the distance of where the ball can be released. You can only reach so far out, right? There's nothing wrong with this, in my view, because the ball sliding up the stick, being picked up and flicked, well, that's just part of what a flick is, right? When we look at the definitions again of what all these terms mean, okay, there is contact between the ball and the stick. There's nothing in the rule that says the ball must be released immediately after the stick comes into contact with the ball. If that were the rule, we'd have a hit. That's what a hit is. Stick, ball, bang, bounces off. And if you're gonna ask me as an umpire, or any umpire in the world, to measure the time in which a ball is on contact with the stick, between pickup and release, and say that's the measure you're going to use to decide what a drag is, I have a swampland in Florida. I have a sunny day in December in England for you. There you go. That'll be something that y'all can glom onto. Okay. We have to find a measurable yardstick. And given what we're trying to hit, what we're trying to prohibit, we're trying to stop the stroke taker from getting this amazing advantage that is possible for some human beings who are able to step in front of the ball and then pick it up and then release it, of shortening that distance. That's what's unfair. Not changing the direction of the ball while the ball's on your stick. That's not the problem. That's skill, that's good. That's fine. and it's completely not an objective measure. That's what I have to say about dragging on the penalty stroke. I love you, Raghu. Let's see what y'all have to say. And if you've made one comment and I've already corrected what's happened, I'll try to be gentle. There you go. Something change of direction. On the point is the skipping part of showing that is more of a drag push. On point is the skipping part. No, it's just simply, it's a manner of footwork that allows the players to project their body in front of the ball and get that back foot in front of the ball so they can then drag it from behind them. They can pull it from behind them and then release it in front of them, closer, at a distance closer to the goal, which makes it harder for the goalkeepers to pick up the directionality, and they have less time in which to save the shot. Okay. Yes, I think it's important, and we're lucky now that we see that we've got this drag flick skill and we can look at it and sort it all out. Okay, good. What's the difference between a pushing movement and dragging movement? Pushing isn't pulling. Dragging is pulling. Bang. You're welcome. The dictionary definitions. The dictionary definitions. It's an antonym. Dragging is pulling. You can't push something that's behind you. You have to pull it. That's sorry, and Yop, I just realized that I'm like talking to somebody for whom English is probably not your first language. So I need to be sensitive to that. But that I think really informs this debate. Could have been played more than once. There was no separation of the ball from the stick. Not at all. None. I will take that argument. Hi, Luke. 12th Doc is here. Well, it's safety, and it's one of those technical reasons to not let this penalty stroke be so incredibly imbalanced. It already is exceptionally imbalanced for attackers. We know that. I mean, I'm not a goalkeeper, but I'm gonna say, yeah, that's a really tough go for a goalkeeper. But if you could release the ball, not from 7 meters away, but 5, man, even I'd score. That's not what a drag is. That's a push. That's a push. If I have the ball in front of me, I can wiggle the ball on my stick all I want and let it go in whatever direction I want. That's not a drag because it didn't come from behind me. Chris Pelmore, come on. I'm really passionate about this issue because this is one of those decisions that we don't think about very often. We don't call very many penalty strokes. And when we do, we don't often look at this issue. It's not front of mind. We're thinking about hitting, and we're thinking about the goalkeeper leaving early. Okay? We have to think about this, and we have to get to a consensus on it so that we don't have the kind of confusion that I'm seeing in the community. Based on my last teaching, you'd say it's okay, but the second touch after the ball apparently is the stick changes direction. Like a disguised push would too. That's not the distinguishing factor. It's a commonality. You don't have to drag the ball in order to change its direction. You don't have to start with the ball behind you in order to change its direction. I just showed you. I just showed you how she was able to change that direction without the ball ever being behind her. That's just good skill. I don't, where did this come from? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. along with the word cynical when it comes to breakdown fouls. Where did this concept of changing the direction of the ball not be a thing that players could do? Why? Who said? It's not in the rules, friends. It's not there. Yes, like on a PC injection. Exactly, Nick. There you go. Yeah, but Nick is, I don't believe, saying that this particular play is a drag flick. Hang on, this is stalled out. We have a stall. We have a stall. No. No. Incorrect. Incorrect. It just happened. It just happened. She didn't play the ball twice. Right? You like his point? I've done 2 What If Wednesdays on this point. Now, 2! This is my point. Oh, okay. You see how I just get super worked up? Yes. Load is now my new best friend. No. Because there's nothing wrong with dragging an injection. Unless I've missed something. Have I missed something? Show me, tell me in the rule book where it says you can't drag an injection on the PC. It just says where you can't put your feet. Where you can or can't. You have been. I really want you to understand this. I want this to... I've never heard of a drag push. It is an oxymoron. And this is why, friends, we have to be careful about our use of language. Again, not a first language English speaker. And if we don't use the right terms, if we don't understand what English means as the official language of hockey, so says the FH, I'm really sorry for everybody who is not a native English speaker. It makes it very difficult, but that's why I'm here, to help and explain everything. Okay? Why not? Yeah, you can see, but how large of an advantage can you gain? So, Mike, I want you to go out on the pitch. Okay, next week, go down to the Robbie's pitch, or this weekend, and I want you to go out and I want you to experiment. How much later can you release the ball if you don't step in front with your back foot? Okay, there's a limit. There's only so far you can reach. And let's face it, we're marking a bright line here. We're choosing where we're gonna set this out because we need something. Because again, it's a little bit about safety, but it isn't really about safety. It's just about crazy. It's why we have a goal of only so many dimensions, and why the penalty stroke mark is 7 meters out, and you know why they're arbitrary. They're arbitrary. But given those constraints, what we're saying is if you can pull the ball from behind you, you can drag it from behind you, which allows you to release it so much closer, that's too much. If you can release the ball from the ball being in your stance as late as possible and fling it off, that is the upper limit. That is the envelope pushing. That is the line. And that's okay. I argue. Yes, a flick is a push that causes height. You're happy. The sixth goal of the highlights video. You think it's a slap hit? I don't know if I can get back there. I'll try. It's already 1:40. I might have to save it for next week, Bav. It's an interesting point on PC injections, except the rule also says 1 foot needs to be behind the line, which makes things awkward. That's fine. Okay. All right. All right. All right. We're doing this. We're doing this. I got a nice groove going. I'm feeling it. Okay. New screen share overlay. Screen share overlay. It is a screen share overlay. Yes, I'm literally that bad of a singer. Actually, I'm not. I'm not speaking to myself like that. Can you read that? I'll make it as big as I can. There we go. Big, big, big. Let's explore this concept together. Hi. And then I do that. Of course I do. Because I have to roll the PDF here, not in my eCam window. Don't worry. Conduct of play. Went too far. Rule 9. Rule 11. Taking a penalty corner. The ball is placed. Attacker pushes or hits the ball without intentionally raising it. The attacker taking the push or hit from the back line must have 1 foot outside the field. Other attackers, blah, blah, blah. Where does it say you can't drag the ball? There is no dragging problem here. There is no drag. Stop conflating these issues, friends. It's just the position of the feet, which again is just probably a way to stop people from dragging the ball. It's a throwback to the way that the penalty stroke rule used to be written, which probably actually made a heck of a lot more sense. And probably helped umpires be a lot more accurate, right? Can do a drag flick starting from in front of your rear foot. Yeah, it is. It is. I think it is. This is my entire point. I believe it is. Try to prove me wrong. I can flick on penalty corners. Okay? I'm capable of flicking. But I can't drag flick because I don't have the skill, the dexterity, the mobility to pick up the ball from behind me so that I can release it that far into the circle. That's the difference, you guys. That's the difference. Does that make sense? Where are we at? Don't you dare. Don't you dare. And I understand where this comes from. I understand our lack of analysis, our lack of consensus on this. I'm making an argument that nobody has yet dissuaded me from. Okay? You haven't provided me any logic. You're just like, well, I think it can. It's like, well, how? How? Physics, explain. Explain the difference, how a push and a pull are two diametrically opposite things. Because one happens in front and one happens behind. And tell me, when we developed the drag flick as a sport, what was different from a drag flick? What was different is that it came from behind. End of story. It's not about the skill developing. It's about how we distinguish between one form of flick and another. One is pulled from behind the body and the other is not. The one I can do is not. The one that Gonzalo Payat can do is. Well, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove to me that you can drag a ball. Prove to me that a ball can be dragged from behind. A drag requires behind. It has to. There's no, otherwise it's just a push. It's just a push like we do everywhere else. Drag behind. And pushes are allowed. It doesn't say it can only go in one direction. It doesn't say that you have to continue pushing in the direction that you start out at. It says you can push. You just can't play the ball twice. Then it's not a drag. Then it's a push that you just happen to have gotten in the crook of your stick. Her hands, oh really? So that's what we're gonna try to decide? We're gonna try to look at the position of the hands. Please. That is impossible. The foot is easy. It's distinguishable. Everybody can see it. It's a large object. It gets placed once. This is the only argument that has made sense against. Okay, so thank you for bringing it up. It depends on where you are dictating the pendulum is, but I still believe that the reason we don't want to drag does not get trapped by this form of motion. Because if the hands are here, you can still only, even if there's fulcrum was the word I was looking for. Even if the fulcrum is there, because the fulcrum is in front of the body or in line with the body, the point of release by necessity can't be further ahead than an arbitrarily set distance that we've decided is fair. So it's the body position, it's where the feet are that make it possible for the release to be so much closer to the goal, not where the hands are. Because the hands can start way behind the body and then pick up the ball and then fling, because the feet have moved closer to the goal. The feet are the key. The feet are the key. End of story. It's a good argument though. Thank you. It's just wrong. You're too far ahead of Keely. I know. Sorry. Could you start a penalty stroke lying down or kneeling within playing distance? I don't know. Probably? Question mark? See, now I'm looking. I mean, yes. Yes, you can. I don't know why you would. No. So load, this is the thing, okay? The only things that can be appealed by a team at any level are mistakes that are made on technical grounds, like that player was ineligible, or the time went too long. It went for 71 minutes instead of 70 minutes, or 60 or 61, or something like that. Umpires' decisions are not appealable. Okay? It's just an umpire error. That's it. Can you start the penalty stroke facing with, oh my God, do I hate that? I hate that with a passion. It's a big fad in Canada and America with young women who are not being taught the proper mechanics of how to flick the ball. Just push it along the ground. You don't have to get in the air to beat the goalkeeper. Where do most of the goals get scored? Steve Denman, please tell me. On the ground, 70% of them. Okay. I'll have a look. But again, this is... I don't want to get sidetracked on, well, this decision was wrong and this decision wrong. I actually, as I've said this many times on these streams, I really actually don't care about that decision because that's in the past. I'm a stoic, or trying to be a stoic. That's in the past. And after I've been yelling at you guys all for like 45 minutes now, 50 minutes. What's happened in the past is not important. Because there is no appeal, there's no nothing, and you know, it's just a game. What I'm trying to do is provide us with a foundation for consensus so we can call this consistently in the future. That was not consistent with how we should be calling it based on the principles of what makes a difference in this game, what's unfair in this game, and what isn't. That is why I'm so passionate about this, because we need better tools to do our job right. This is a tool. This understanding is a tool, not a dicta or a, you know, but it gives us something that we can empirically point to, objectively say that foot is in front of the ball, therefore the ball has been pulled from behind. That is the definition of a drag, therefore that cannot be a legal goal. We're done. Absolutely. Yeah, I like explore it. I've had, 35 years to explore this game in all kinds of facets, and I watch so much, and I listen, and I talk, and I communicate, and I argue, and this is it. And do a twirl and a push. You can. Would that help you? I don't know. I don't know, Andrew. My hands are in front. Okay. My hands are in front. Let's do it with my phone. My hands are in front of my body. Am I pulling my phone? Am I pulling my phone? No, I'm pushing it. Mike! Good. Get obsessed. Jean-Luc Picard. There you go. Oh, wait. That's what I should have done. How far behind am I on the comments? Man. Let's see. Oh, I'm really far behind. Okay. Yes, yes, that's the language that was used. And again, we have to give space for the fact that not the first language. Okay? And a drag push doesn't exist. Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter if it's a drag or not. Dumbledore's army? Question. Behind the entire body or just the torso? I'm trying to find the only objective line that we can argue is the feet. Oh, there you go. Hi, David. You're new. Yes! Thank you. Good to have you, Nick. Dragging action implies... Yep. Yeah. Yeah! So, David, you just joined in after I literally spent 50 minutes going through dictionary definitions and the history of the dragging rule on penalty strokes in order to justify the very conclusion that you came to in one sentence. Thank you.
How you like that?
I'm so worked up about this. Emotional damage. Okay, the term drag flick can help. Yeah. The term drag flick can help. That's why I showed it. Okay. I know it's not the consensus, but nothing else makes sense. Nothing else gets us a consistent result. Nothing else addresses what is actually unfair that's trying to be prevented by that rule. I'm trying to save the world here. Work with me. Thank you, Godders. Godders is like trying to... Must stand. Okay, sure. Honestly, I don't care. I got a lot of problems. Well, you can say in Keely Dunn's opinion at FHumpires and leading thought thinker. Am I a thought thinker? Thought leader on umpiring philosophy, practice, rules interpretation, and all those things. You can say all that stuff. You can't say because 100% at the time it was ruled no goal. That's what you have to say. Hi, Alex. I know, right? That's where I put my strokes. Low to the right, every time. I'm a terrible player and I know how to do that. Yep. Yes, we did. What Up Wednesday, episode 4 in the description. Go have a look at it. I just wanted to press it. Okay. Conflating. That's a conflation. I'm throwing a flag on the play. That's a conflation. Okay, I'm caught up in the comments and I think I beat this one. I nailed it. I'm happy. Okay, number 2. Oops. Number 2. What? The Sam Hill happened here. This is fascinating. This is what we're looking at. This was a question. Changing gears, next topic. This is a question that was presented on the Facebooks in a group of which I'm a member, and I decided I should anonymize it because I thought that would be the fairest thing to do. And here it is. Defending team was really unhappy with the decision. A ball is hit flat towards the penalty spot from the baseline. It's deflected outside the D. Loops and it deflects high off a defender, loops high towards the penalty spot. Underneath is the goalkeeper, defender, and attacker. And the poster awarded a penalty corner. Defenders thought it should have been a free hit attack outside the D at the point it was deflected. And the reasoning presented by the poster is that the ball only became dangerous as it came down at the P spot, and it was the defender that deflected it into the air. So, friends, my immediate response is that is an incorrect decision. because we award penalties based on where the action creating the danger occurred. And in this moment, the ball was going to be dangerous off that deflection because the players were already there in the spot. Nothing happened inside the circle, underneath the landing part of the ball, after the ball was safely put into the air. Nothing happened there that created the danger. The action creating the danger was the initial deflection. Okay? Let me show you an example of where, for me, this wasn't done correctly. Okay, the ball's chipped. I might be in the wrong spot here.
2:22 to go in the first quarter. More of a flowing first quarter.
Okay, so not to get on Mr. Rogers here, but the ball is played dangerously there. That is the action that creates the danger. Nothing happened where the Dutch player was hit that caused danger that wasn't already present. So the ball should have been taken, the free hit should have been taken inside the circle.
Finals in 2019 with 5 goals.
Okay, that's a pretty rare misstep. You don't see that very often at all. Okay.
Nothing unique about this. It is
Here's an
something
example of it
that
done right.
happens every 20 or 30 years.
Okay.
Because that is about the length of the financial memory.
For a couple of reasons. Okay, and again, this is Javed. And this ball is deflected. Even though the deflection is outside the circle, okay, off a defender there, that creates danger. That deflection outside the circle creates danger. Okay? But the play on at this point is like, okay, he has the ability here. Advantage was played, or it was just allowed to continue for whatever reason. Maybe Java didn't believe that was dangerous there. I shouldn't have said that because now I confused the issue. The mishandling of the ball here is what creates the danger in this moment. And the Spanish player is entitled to attempt to play this ball. Therefore, it's a penalty corner. I'm going to go to your comments right away because I know I've got a lot of things. You didn't miss anything. Not a thing. Free hit, attack, offense, deflection occurred outside the circle. Yep. The ball should be a dangerous ball outside the D. No. Okay, Thomas, I can address this. All right. The problem with an aerial and trying to make it the same as a deflection, which it is not. An aerial is an intended pass. It is not an accident of deflection. Okay? There are the ball is expected because of the motion of the player playing the ball. Okay, the passer makes a deliberate motion putting the ball up into the air. So it is not, unless it's been aerialed at a player who's within 5 meters and in front of the ball, making it dangerous. There is now time for the players to play it safely in many situations underneath the ball. That is where the danger occurs in that situation. It's different. It's distinguishable, Thomas. Okay? Advantage means play continues if that's the best result for the team. For the team that has been fouled against. So we go with a penalty corner here. Sorry, Bev. Exactly. We do not apply the 5 meter rule for a deflection because you can't expect players, you can't penalize them for failing to respond to something that wasn't intended to happen. Okay? You sort it out. Something could be safe that gets created, it gets made dangerous after the fact, but you can't expect them to be like, oh, I'm going to give them 5 meters now. It was an accident. We're not consistent about that either. Okay? Any other questions on that one? I feel like I burned out all my smarts and passionate arguments on question number 1. There's consistency. There's consistency if you can apply what I've just described. So if the defender clears the ball which hits the stick of another defender to deflect up dangerously towards an attacker, player just outside the 23 PC, it depends on where that defender's deflection is. Okay? Clear as mud on the deflection. I know. I try. I can't bat 1,000, friends. I'm just a human being out here in these streets, just trying to make sense of a crazy, crazy sport. Trying to keep it safe, trying to keep it fair. Just doing my best. Okay. I got a couple other ones. Oh, good. These buttons are gonna work. This one was sent to me. I think Joop put this up. Okay. The question in Dutch. Oh, I had it in my. I was learning it. It's Gied Dolpunt. Oh, I had the Dutch word for goal and no goal words. I did. Okay, so I mean this is quick. I'm gonna be already on the next clip by the time I see your comments about this one. And I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Okay. This ball is released outside the circle. Very clearly, the release is outside the circle. And yes, I know she hasn't released it yet. I'm trying to scroll it as finely as I can. And I can't. 25 frames per second, friends. But there, look, okay? The ball hasn't entered the circle yet. Her stick is far off the ball. She didn't release it in the circle. As it continues along, it touches the defender. It could be your feet. It could be your stick. I really don't care. But what it isn't, it's not a goal. Next.
Hinder te lauw. Hij keept vandaag wegens afwezigheid van Dirk Meijer.
Tom put this one up.
Te lauw krijgt het hier druk.
Okay, this one was sent to me by my friend Casper Stevens. This is a really interesting play.
Hinder te lauw. Hij keept vandaag wegens afwezigheid van Dirk Meijer. Te lauw krijgt het hier druk. Hij mag een strafbal proberen te keren. Een kaart voor Rotterdam. Die overtreding hier op boven die onder het gras wordt gestopt.
Correct. As it is on this one too. Like, I get these highlights and there's one theme from every one of these hoofed class matches. So I'm gonna throw it out there. Rob 10 Cat is gonna come on the show. He's gonna come on a special Umpire at Home next week. It's either next Thursday or the Thursday after. I have to check my calendar. Rob 10 Cat and I are we're gonna go through the KNHB intentional foul quiz. Not really the play-by-play, but we're gonna talk about what he learned and what the KNHB hockey community, umpiring community, and coaching community, and playing community learned as a result of that quiz. And I'm going to talk to Rob about whether I should do a mission critical positioning workshop for the KNHB, because every time, okay? And this is not to be critical of the umpires, because they need to have consistent, principle-based coaching. End of story. Free hit defense. WTF. How could they be awarded a penalty stroke? Orange players clattered into white player. You thinking about this from the wrong angle. We talk about, sorry, as I'm just looking at it and thinking instead of speaking aloud to you. We talk about who creates danger and that it's not always the player who plays the ball. We talk about who can create obstruction, and it's not always the defender. It's sometimes the player in possession of the ball. We can also talk about how players can make decisions to move their bodies in directions away from the most attractive option, the best option, the most reasonable option, and create contact. I think there's a good argument for that in this case. I'm actually not entirely sold either, though, because the defender still has some responsibility for where they're going. And unfortunately for me, it's not the body contact. It's not the body contact. That is completely created by the attacker. But the defender does put his stick in front of the orange player, and right there is obstructing him from playing the ball. That's a penalty stroke situation. Okay? So if you can separate those two things in your brain, you can get to that. Was the defender disadvantaged by the orange attacker running into him? Maybe. So you could sell the free hit defense on that, potentially. It's actually a lot less clear-cut than I thought it was when the first time I saw it. Let me keep it playing on loop. I don't love what the attacker does. I really don't. But the stick is the problem. First, yeah, here we go. So Sarah sees the defender stick across the attacker. Good work. Yeah, it does look like he does that. You mean the white player wasn't in a place to tackle? Yeah, exactly. So the white player is behind, and they're still responsible for not cutting off good spaces or being, you know, the orange player here, think about, okay, so if the white attacker isn't around, the orange player is on his own. He's got nobody to pass to. It's a 1-on-5 at this point. Okay, still is. Where does the orange player want to go in this situation? He's going to want to cut across square. Like he doesn't want to go straight at this goalkeeper because he's got a very poor angle. So he's going to want to cut square across towards the penalty stroke mark and try to do something fancy, some fancy move, and, you know, reverse him to the top or maybe pull it back or do something. But he's ahead of the white player and should be able to change his direction. He doesn't have to respect where the white player is physically because he's beaten. He's behind. So although I really don't like how it looks, and I don't like how the orange player goes tumbling afterwards, like, come on, dude. The thing that I hate the most is where the umpire is. Because he's calling it on the body contact. He's not calling it on the stick because he can't see the sticks. The sticks are in front. Get in front. Yeah, maybe. Good night, sir. Glad you're here. Yeah, you can see both now. Yeah. Maybe. It's really, really difficult. Really difficult to see because I still think had there not been the stick, you could actually just kind of play this on, you know, and wait for somebody else to commit a more clear foul. Either way. He was over trying to stay up against the orange player's face, which over did cause the orange player to go and he tried to tackle. Yeah. I think where the umpire's positioned, it invites him to give the penalty stroke, but for the wrong reason. That's what I think. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I looked at this several times. I you know, but looking at this angle, which is closer to where the umpire is at the moment, it makes it tough. Why can't we take care of our circles? Please. Oh, you retracted that. Sorry, I can't see what's retracted. Okay. Last one.
Navel over rechts. Die bal uiteindelijk voor. Dan is het Van Aert die uithaalt met zijn voorhand hard. Max Koenen Schaper in het doel van Klein-Zwitserland. En nummer 4
So,
voor
when
Oranje
Casper
Rood,
sent me this
4-1 dus.
email, he entitled this
53
clip,
minuten.
Goal or Attempted Murder.
Oranje Rood thuis zo wisselend presteren. 3 keer winst, 3 keer verloren. Navel over rechts. Die bal uiteindelijk voor. Dan is het Van Aert die uithaalt met zijn voorhand hard. Max Koenen Schaper in het doel van Klein-Zwitserland. En nummer 4 voor Oranje Rood. De 4-1 dus.
I'll wait for your thoughts. This is from the last one, I believe, Hamish. Player slowed down, trying to create an obstruction. The ball kept going away from the lad, went into the back of them, both disadvantaged, played on. Oh, simultaneous foul. Sounds from your description, which I can't really put into brain pictures. This umpire's ahead of the play. So the interesting part is when somebody provides me with a clip and then they immediately couch it in what I think is an incorrect binary. So this isn't about whether it's a goal or an attempted murder because you're going to play this on. Ideally, in this kind of situation at almost every level of play, you're not going to play this on. You're going to call the penalty corner immediately. Now, I'm going to appreciate that in this moment, it's very contemporaneous between the player slipping and falling. What I don't know, like the way that player on the ground moves, he slides and then he literally like, he gets his hand underneath him and instead of trying to move out of the way, he almost just kind of like, screw it. I'm going to move into the way and see what happens. That doesn't look like an instinctive move to me, unless he honestly like kind of slips again and his hand comes out and he can't, I don't know. The way his weight's going, it just, like, why are you laying down again? Why are you putting yourself, he doesn't look like he's ducking, he's not doing, like, so I can see why it's played on. There is no Now, I'm going to correct myself. There is some responsibility on the attacking player to behave responsibly with this player. Would any of us in the matches that we umpire expect or want to play this through? Probably wouldn't. Right? We would want an attacker to be like, oh crap. And that gives us the chance to ward the penalty corner. Because again, it's not an intentional foul, but the white defender is putting themselves in danger by losing their footing. Yeah, it's kind of how, yeah, like it just looks shady. And I hope I'm not coloring your perceptions of that. That's why I'd like to stop and see if you guys can get some comments in first. The lag on YouTube is just no fun. Yeah, that's the ideal situation, Steven, is to just stop it for the danger. Okay, and that's what we are aiming for. Okay, so the principle here is that this is the defender creating danger. We're just gonna call the penalty corner as soon as we can. The other kind of side to this, and this is a little bit of a, you know, maybe a delicate argument to make, but sometimes by blowing the whistle, if you don't have the right timing on it, even though you're trying to be as fast as possible, you can actually create more danger because players stop and they do weird things instead of this unfolding in the rhythm that hockey does, you know, the hockey thing. So I would be a little, you know, I don't know if I could have done this differently. I think you know, it's really fast and all that stuff. And I don't know. I don't know if the umpire really notices that the defender's in trouble there. Looks like he changed his mind about getting up. And maybe he thought that the attacker was going to lift it. Yeah, it is getting close. I know, but I did 5 clips, you guys. I did it. I did it. But would it then be a bully? No, 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 neither of those things. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Neither of those things. Okay? The play has to be stopped because danger was caused by the defender falling. Okay, he put himself in danger. Danger caused, even though it was to him. Just call the corner. And definitely not a penalty stroke. Oof. Hits the player, then a penalty stroke. Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe. Like, I'd have to see the shot because so much can change. Just because the goalkeeper's in behind doesn't mean that it can't be a penalty stroke. Just because the goalkeeper's behind doesn't mean that it's not going to be. It could be a stroke or it could be a penalty corner. And it all depends on, you know, where they are, where the shot goes. Jeez, now I'm doubting this. Ugh, Urian. No, I'm gonna stick with it. Let me think about this more, Urian, because I'm not super pleased with how that... My brain doesn't feel good right now. I'm gonna put this in Ask FHU so that I can remember to think about it. Playing with no goalkeeper, an attacker breaks away. Okay, hypothetical time. Let's just get away from this clip because clearly we're not talking about that clip anymore. Playing with no goalkeeper, an attacker breaks away into the circle. The defender just in front of the goal slips to the floor before the attacker gets a shot off. If you blow, what do you give? Well, I don't have a full slate of information here. Where are all the rest of the players? Where did this happen? Where was the slipping defender vis-a-vis the attacker? I don't know. I can make lots of assumptions here, Andrew. I can just pretend I know exactly what this looks like in your brain, but I'm gonna be wrong. This could be a penalty stroke. It could be a penalty corner. I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to be super quick. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? So how much responsibility do we put on an attacker there? It's our job. You know, we're the first line of defense. And then, you know, we also expect and we encourage players to act responsibility. But yeah, maybe. I'm not pleased about a lot of things. Have you met me? I turned 50 a few weeks ago. I'm officially angry all the time. That is I'm officially doing this. All the time. I'd like to say it's a stereotype, but no, seriously, I'm just really angry. If you'd give the bully, yeah, exactly. Provided is provided. Do you know? That's why I hate hypotheticals. That's why, Andrew, I sit here every Wednesday and I show video. If somebody asks me a hypothetical question like that, you know what I would do? I'd go find a bunch of video. And I'd say, hey, so in this situation, this is how we apply the principles. This situation is different. Same principles, different result. You're welcome. Which is what I did with the deflections of balls outside the circle and into the circle. Oh, you know what? I've never. People are like, oh, are you really Canadian? No. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Oh, thank you. That's really generous. The other thing that you can do, wait, I didn't even talk about, did I do that? I didn't do this. Oh dear. Have you seen this thing? FHU3T? Just go sign up. Stephen Denman's gonna sign up. Next season, he promised me. Didn't you, Stephen? Steve Denman promised me he's gonna become a member. Yep. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be fun, hey? All the grumps. The grumps are gonna be nonstop. Okay. And that is the link in there. So don't forget, go out to the pitch and try your drag flicks and try to show me that you can drag flick with the ball not being behind your foot. I dare you. You gotta film it and you gotta come into the Discord server and you gotta show me. Right here, FHumpires.com Discord. We are so close to our 500th member, you guys. It's exciting. Who's it gonna be? Should I give them a prize? Which also reminds me, a conversation in the Discord is that we're having a coin toss design challenge. I better resurrect the thread to make sure it doesn't die. I just need to find somebody in the UK that makes coin toss, like poker chip style. Because I'm not making them here in Canada and then sending them abroad, because that's ridiculous. That's gonna be très cher. Très cher. We're not doing that. The video is uploading now. You are a liar. You are a liar and a thief. You are a thief of my joy. I don't believe it. Can you be the most active non-mod? Design me a coin, and then you can get a prize. There you go. Yeah, so close. So close. Okay. I really appreciate the discussion today. It's my favorite thing to be able to get super animated, passionate, and argumentative about a principle like this. Because usually, like, you know, I pulled out the third clip of the non-goal and I was like, yeah, it wasn't a goal. Big deal. What's the rule? That's the rule. Everybody knows that rule. Most basic rule. Not very exciting. But boy, that drag at the penalty stroke is very, very exciting. And if you want to continue the discussion, you know where to go now. We did talk about the deflections into the circle. and where danger is caused. So for those of you who joined in to look specifically at that issue, I hope that was helpful. If it wasn't, come into the Discord and I'll fix it. And I'll find you some more examples and we'll talk more, because I'm not super happy. I'm just, this is my self-analysis. I'm self-coaching as we're going through. Okay. No, everybody likes a mooch. What are you talking about? He's the best. Yeah, well, it's the making, but then oh, get that out of the way. If every single customer, Stefan, is in, literally 80% of my customers are based in the UK. And then I have a bunch in Europe, and then there's a few smattering everywhere else. So to manufacture somewhere and then ship, the shipping is the thing that kills me. It's why I don't sell a lot of merch, because it's very actually expensive for me to sell it. So I don't make money from merch. Never have, and I'm sure I never will. It's just not there. So it has to be in place so I can put it in my warehouse either in Birmingham or in Barcelona, and then it'll actually be at a price point that won't kill everybody. There's also environmental concerns with that, right? Like, I've had stuff that's manufactured in China and then comes over to Calgary and it gets printed with my logo, and then I send it over to Barcelona. That's ridiculous. That makes me feel bad. Hi, Freddie Campbell. I'm gonna have to save this for next time because we're already past a Keeley hour. So I'm just gonna screenshot this. What's the rule on goalkeeper blocking? Curious altering, having watched the Amsterdam Den Bosch. Okay, Freddie, come here. FHumpires.com Discord. Come into Ask FHU, create a new thread, and link to the game. If you have a timestamp, that would be like super awesome. You'd almost be as cool as Hamish if you did that. And we'll talk about it. There you go. But if you want to cost me some money, Dina's got the link. Thank you. That's great. Thank you, Godders. No thank you for the score. Sport ball. Sport ball. Okay. You guys are awesome. We will see you next week. And if you didn't have enough, there's going to be a couple videos that come up now that you could watch even more of these rantings of. Otherwise, we'll see you What Up Wednesday and in the Discord server. Have a great rest of your day, evening, all of the things.